Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sweta, and I would like to welcome you all. Today in our episode, we have a very interesting guest with us, and I would like to introduce you to her. She is a visionary. She is someone who is transforming parking solutions in UAE. Her technology not just only optimize parking, but also help companies monetize unused parking space. She's someone who is using sustainable urban practices. Join me in welcoming Mercedes Cebrain, who is the founder and CEO of Parkron. Welcome, Mercedes. Very nice to have you here on our platform, CTW Global Talks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's truly a pleasure and an honor to be part of the talks with you. Thank you, I really appreciate it.
We are so glad to have you here on board for our very third episode. We are very, very, very thrilled. So, you were one of the esteemed speaker on CTW Global Talks. We do had a lot of good insights. Our audience had valuable knowledge from your thought processes. So what we will do, we will pick from there and move forward to take this talk ahead. So you were focusing on the smart city sustainability part in our CTW Global 2023. So now I want to ask you, Mercedes, you are a founder and CEO of Parkron.
Yes.
So how did that idea came into your thought? What were you thinking that I want to do this? And I want to focus on utilizing this unused space. Can you share your journey with us?
Absolutely. Well, in order for me to share my journey with you, how Parkron was created and how Parkron was born, I've got to rewind a little bit more and tell you where I'm coming from and my background, right? Because that is actually the key of the reason why Parkron exists today, right?
Wow.
My background is sports in high performance and still as well sport management. What does it mean? It means that at the early age of 6 years old, I started training in competitions or for competitions.
Wow.
For swimming. So I did learn what discipline is.
Wow.
At very early stage of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw as well what discipline can do to your life if you focus on you focus on your goals. So after that, I was in the sport field for almost 20 years training.
Wow.
And competing as well, both training, competing, and also in outside as a coach, right? So I had the vision of both. So basically later on, what I did, I finished my degree in sports science in UK. And
Wow.
the reason why I finished there, it's because I wanted to learn English, meaning that I did not speak any English at all once I landed in UK. And again, my head was like, discipline, get the discipline to learn a new language, to learn how to live in a new country and within a new culture. That gave me the opportunity to go back home, Spain. And when I did, I started basically having managerial roles within sport management. And that also led me to hospitality in leading the recreational department in high-end hotels in Malaga, in South Spain, which is very much tourism-oriented, and also in Marbella. Then it's when I saw the niche, I saw the opportunity with a background in hospitality management, coming from high discipline like I did. One day I was in New York. I was traveling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There were times that my travel was crazy. I didn't know if I was gonna miss a plane or something similar. And one day I was in New York celebrating my birthday with my brother, right? And I wished at that moment that our hotel will be in the place that we needed to park. And then that is when I came up with Parkron. I saw a building right there in Manhattan, New York City, 3-story level with parking and completely empty. I just wanted to go in, knock on the door and say, hey guys, can you just rent 1 hour of parking for me? I'm just gonna go and have lunch, right? And then by having that thought process, that is how I wanted to create a solution for a social dilemma, for a social problem, which is parking, right? Everyone suffers from parking.
100%.
Right? 100%. It doesn't matter whether we are in Dubai, we go to Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, or any other part in the world. In this case, we're talking about New York, right? So what I wanted was to put together the solution to a social problem through innovation, and at the same time, both of them aligning towards sustainability. And by thinking, what I did, I created Parkron, right? Wow. Parkron solved the problem of parking, in which we offer parking spots in those areas that are very limited through an innovative solution, which is a mobile application. Wow. You find Parkron in both in Android and iOS, and at the same time, we all work together towards sustainability by reducing the amount of time that you are driving, reducing the amount of petrol that you're spending, and so on and so forth, with the integrations on the technologies that probably I will talk about it a little bit more further the line.
Wow.
So that is how Parkron was born and how I created it.
Amazing. I mean, your journey is very interesting, 100% very interesting. Like, I am inspired because I know when some idea clicks you, you want to run for it. You know, it's just an idea which can develop into a big thought and a business.
Exactly.
And I think it's a very wonderful idea which is helping everyone because when I get into the car, the very first moment is not the traffic. Will I get the parking or not?
Yes.
It's the only thing in my mind. I think I will get the parking, or I'm lucky enough and the universe giving me the parking, I will get the parking.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about this, how does this app work? As in, you download the app and you just enter which location you want to go.
Correct.
And then you say, okay, this is my parking.
Correct. Absolutely. You describe it perfectly.
Oh, wow.
That was actually also our goal for Parkron, to be user-friendly, right? What we want our users, whether you are a driver or a parking provider, is just download the app, list your parking spot, and start getting money out of your parking spot in minute 1. And the same applies for the drivers. You as a driver, you're looking for a parking spot. So all you have to do is download Parkron and look for the parking spots in the cities that you want to park. We're talking about Dubai today because we are in Dubai.
In Dubai, yes.
We could be talking about Abu Dhabi. We could be talking about Madrid. We could be talking about Malaga, because Parkron actually works global as well.
Global?
Wow. That's correct.
In my mind, it was just UAE, but it's global. Wow.
It is.
Well done. It's going to help a lot of people, I'm sure. I will definitely do this thing. You know, I'll just go and download Parkron in my phone so that I will not think about the guesses.
Please do so. Anyhow, give me a call. You've got direct contact.
We should 100%. So, just adding on to what we just discussed, can you share the instances or a testimonial from your consumer or from anyone in terms of the, how this parking helped them, in terms of like how people are adapting this technology in their normal, diverse or urban environments?
Well, first of all, what we wanted was to reach that hand to everyone in big cities. Not just big cities, but also small cities in which parking spots are not available per se, but everyone has. The chances for you to have a parking spot in your residency are quite high as well, right? So what we wanted was to help across not just cities, but also across countries, regions, and globally. That was the idea, in order for Parkron to be able to reach that hand towards that issue. Not just that, but also what we have created has been an ecosystem in which Parkron can also be integrated with any smart city or any parking ecosystem that it's already there. Let me explain this a little bit more, how we can facilitate the driver's journey, right? By integrating Parkron through IoTs, such as road cameras, we're talking about smart traffic signals as well. We're talking about devices that are testing and monitoring the weather, right? So we have these three elements in which when we get the integration there, we receive the data, and so we can also predict and redirect our drivers to better routes based on traffic congestions, based on weather conditions as well, right? Because we know here in Dubai the weather conditions are usually stable, right? But we have places like Europe, for example, it's rainy, it can rain, it can snow as well. So what we want is to facilitate the not just the looking for the parking spot, but also arrival to that parking spot in the safest conditions ever, and so the time as well, and in this case the scalability, right? When we were talking about Parkron, what we wanted was not just to solve a small problem that goes to a small region like it's Dubai in the world map. What we wanted was to solve a problem that was at that moment in Dubai, since I am a Dubai resident, right? But at the same time, expand that solution across markets, across regions, and so globally. As simple as if you have a meeting tomorrow in London, or you have holidays going back home, whatever home is, it doesn't really matter. You don't have a parking spot available close to your parents' house or to your friends or to wherever you are going. You can do it in advance from your phone, and it doesn't matter which country you are in. So that is the ease that we wanted to be able to give to our users, and at the same time to our parking providers, the owners of parking spots. People are struggling financially, especially after COVID, right?
Yes.
Not just users, individual users, but also we're talking about corporates. How many companies? It doesn't matter what you do. Every company has parking spots in their buildings.
Yes.
They
but
might
not everybody has it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And not everyone is utilizing their parking spot 100%. Even though if you have one only parking, you have a capacity of 10, you are utilizing 9 as a company, and one is empty. It's a dead asset. It is.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Can I rent my parking space?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You can rent it, and you can rent it based on your schedule, based on what you actually want. If you don't want to rent them from Monday to Friday, that's fine. Do it on the weekend. Do it during the night. We wanted to, as I said, we wanted to help across a market, across businesses and fields, in terms of we just need one parking spot. You just need one parking spot to make, to create a new revenue stream for either your own businesses or your own pocket as an individual. And that was the aim.
Wow, this insight is very interesting, very interesting. I think whoever needs that parking solution, they should go for this route, because I think it's more sustainable as well.
Yes.
And I completely agree with you that it somehow, in any angle, it is reducing the carbon emission.
Absolutely. We wanted also that. What we wanted was to be part of also the net zero, right? The first time that we heard about net zero here in UAE, right? 2030, 2050, we're talking about milestones when it comes to protecting the environment, to protecting home, which is the earth, right? At the end of the day. And when I created Parkron, we were thinking into that. We were thinking in innovation. We were thinking in sustainability. We were thinking on solving as well a social problem So, and having that combo align so seamless like we did and smooth was the biggest challenge. But not just the biggest challenge, but at the same time, as I mentioned before, when it comes to discipline, all we needed to do was to keep going, to keep thinking how to create this solution, how we were going to reach our audience, and how we were going to not just reach the audience, but also help them to find parking spots, not to be driving like crazy around Dubai or any big city, and at the same time save time and petrol.
That's wonderful. Actually, we are talking about sustainability. We are talking about a wonderful app for the parking. But beyond parking, if we discuss it that way, beyond parking, how might these technology innovations influencing other aspects of urban living?
Well, apart from parking, we are having a lot of technologies when it comes to IoTs, the Internet of the Things, right?
Yeah.
The devices, the cameras. We have, as well as I told you, we have the devices in which we can monitor the weather conditions and so on. How can we leverage, right, the technology that we have to enhance the sustainability in the world, right?
Correct.
So I do believe in integrations. I am a big fan, a believer of integrations. Coming from an entrepreneur in tech, I think that is the best approach. And these integrations can help as a whole to create a better environment towards that sustainable goal. Let me explain how. Integration in technologies, we might be talking about smart cities as a whole, and it's so big, right? But at the same time, we can be talking about smart buildings. What is a smart building? A smart building is a building that gets triggered, right, by a device to do something in the building.
Right.
So this trigger can come from the parking, meaning that if we're talking about business building in which we just have offices or a factory per se, and the building gets triggered from the parking spot. So the first person that enters the building with a card or by reading the plate number with a camera and so on, that is the first trigger that happens in the building, meaning that the doors are going to get open, the lights are going to get on. Right? The elevator is going to get called to the P1 or P2 or whichever level that parking is, right? That car might be associated to an office. That office, the light might get on as well. AC can turn on. Heating can turn on instead of having everything on during the night. But at the same time, it happens at the very end of the day. Right? At the very end of the day, as people leave the building, again, this example is more for an office, right?
Yes.
As people leave the building, we can get put the building into sleep, meaning that the last person leave, lighting goes to sleep or go lower on intensity. Elevators, if we have 4 elevators, what's the point of having 4 elevators full functioning? Right? You can put them to sleep. That is how energy can be used more efficiently and how technology can be leveraged, can be reused in order for us to have less expenses when it comes to just energy. Let's just put it that way, just energy. There is also another technology that I absolutely love, which are digital twins. What is a digital twin? A digital twin is an environment that gets created on a digital base in which you do trial and error on environments, especially in urban environments. So what you want to create there is whether there is a road on the entry and exit of motorways in the urban landscape, if we are talking about construction site, if we're talking about construction starting from scratch of a city, or we're talking about compounds, we're talking about industrial areas and so on, or we might be talking about premise construction. Constructions are exactly Dubai. We have them everywhere. So these digital twins is a copy of what you will have in reality, right? But then you can play trial and error in those digital twins. So what happened with that technology? When we use this technology properly, what we do is do the trial, the risk, the risk that we might have, it's gonna decrease when you are gonna extrapolate that into reality, and the chances to success are gonna increase exponentially because you have learned by trial and error. So technologies that we have to be able to use it and leverage them in our daily basis to reach that sustainability goal and create that ecosystem. All of them, thousands. I could be here all day talking about them.
No, I totally agree with you, because when we talk about smart cities, right? So smart city is all about adapting new technologies and whatever it can evolve in making a city, like saying it a smart city. But can you shed some light towards like what are the challenges and opportunities lie on the horizon for this?
Well, the challenges that I find usually are the platforms, right? Everyone, we live in the smart city per se in the world, in Dubai, okay? So the big challenge is that the platforms need to be built with enough capacity to be able to support the systems that we are going to plug on those platforms. And in this way, I'm talking about platforms in which we're able to pay for our Emirates ID. We're able to pay for parking. We're able to pay for rent. We're able to pay for groceries and so on and so forth. So the big take is that these platforms, the better we build them, the more stable we build them, the more systems we can get on board. But that is also a challenge, right? In which way?
Yes.
Because every entity wanna use their own platforms. So by creating, I'm not gonna say a one and only platform, but creating a unified red or system of platforms. Also, what we are aiming is to have the same usage of the platforms, the legalities, the data as well. We're going to have all that data integrated in the platforms through the systems, and this data needs to be protected. And the way that needs to be protected is basically on the legality part of it. And I find that the human being gets really tangled when they need to get along with each other on how to do things, right? Okay, we have one platform, we're gonna get absolutely everything on board, we're gonna get these systems and this technology, whether it's IoT, we're talking about artificial intelligence, we're talking about payment methods and so on. So the challenge and the opportunity, it's there. The opportunity is create these great and stable platforms that everyone should be plugging in their systems. At the same time, the challenge is getting into the agreement on how these platforms are going to be used, and as well getting into the agreement or how this data is going to be protected and used. Because I don't want my data, like we're talking about credit card, we're talking about emails, we're talking about addresses as well, like physical addresses. So that is the challenge. The opportunity is there, but it's true that right now everything is emerging and blooming on a daily basis, something new AI, new extensions, new tools, and so on. Right. So by utilizing them, all of them, it's fantastic. But the challenge is doing it as well with good practices.
Exactly. I completely second what you're saying, because what in terms of my knowledge, what I understand in this environment, everything is a hype. Like AI is there. We are talking about sustainability. We are talking about payment gateways, everything. So it is very important that if we have a proper framework for everything, then things are in places. If we talk about any product, any services, if we do have a framework, then we are through. I think then this challenge became more of an opportunity for everyone, right?
Every challenge is an opportunity.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That is sometimes
the right method, you are through.
Exactly. That is sometimes the mindset that I want to also bring down. A challenge is not a problem. A challenge is giving you the opportunity to think out of the box.
Challenge is a challenge. If you say there's a difference between challenge and a problem. Problem is more on a lower side. It's a problem. But when you say challenge, okay, I will overcome that challenge. Saying it is applicable in the business and the work you're doing. I think you take it as a challenge and then you put it into your work and you solve it.
I take everything as a challenge, pretty much. that may be also a problem, but so far I'm happy with those challenges.
I'm happy that we have good challenges.
Absolutely,
good challenges is always good.
Absolutely.
So moving on, we are having a very lovely conversation, and before we, move closer to our closing of this episode, I want to know what kind of advice you want to give it to the upcoming entrepreneurs for any of the product and services they are thinking about.
Well, the advice that I will give to an entrepreneur is, first of all, know your place. Where are you right now, regardless of the idea, and where is the place that you want to be in? Right? And by writing these two in a piece of paper, in a separate areas of the paper, you have a blank gap in the middle. And this is how I mentor entrepreneurs that they come and seek for advice. So you need to know where you are at the moment, and you need to also know where you want to be. This, it's not gonna be probably the end goal. This is gonna change. Whatever you want to be, it's going to change. But that blank in the middle, what I want you to do, or what I advise people to do, is how can I go from where I am today, which is the point A, and where I want to be, which is the point B, let's put it that way. What are the tools that I can do? So when you know, basically treat everything, because an entrepreneur is, at the end of the day, it's a CEO, it's a founder, and has to have a business mindset and get the business mindset that you need. You need to have a business plan. What is it what I want? Is it in tech? Is it going to be innovative? Is it going to be a solution with smart cities? Is it going to be a solution with artificial intelligence? Are we talking about maybe a retail? Completely, whatever it is.
Any kind of business.
Exactly. Get your business plan and also get alliances, right? As entrepreneur, sometimes we have the thought that we know everything because it's our idea.
Exactly.
It's our idea, and we're supposed to know everything, and I don't want anyone to tell me how to change my idea, because I birthed my idea, and I own my idea. But in this case, what you've got to do, and what I advise, at the end of the day, is in everyone's hands whether they want to follow advice or not. It's also get these partnerships, this alliance with people that are already in businesses, no matter what kind of businesses, right? And at the same time, learn from them. Because everyone is a teacher in this journey. If I am telling you an idea that I have in businesses, you might come up and say, you know what? I know this person that might guide you. But if we don't share our challenges because we are too afraid to get out of our little bubble as entrepreneur, and we don't want anything to affect our businesses, then you're never gonna go there. You need to put yourself out there in order for you to learn from others. And rather than that, or after that, I would say get also a business plan established with the financial projections. How are you gonna do it? Where are you gonna be? How much money you might need? How can you do it? And investors in the way, marketing strategies as well. But all of that come a little bit late on the ground. And if we are talking about being a startup or being an entrepreneur in sustainability, get your goals clear, whether it's sustainable goals or whether are going to be just financial goals. But at the same time, we have to treat every single business as such, as a business. If the ROI doesn't come back with good numbers, then you have to rethink the entire plan.
Exactly.
And don't give up. Just be disciplined. It doesn't matter. A door is going to close, the second door is going to close, the third is going to close, and probably the first 1,000 doors are going to close, but you just need one door that it's going to it's going to open, and you are going to be focused on that door. Forget about others that say no, and keep focusing on that only door that you want to be open. You don't know which one it's going to be. You don't know when it's going to come.
Which one is for you, correct?
Exactly. But never give up. Never.
I think I'm more inspired. I think I'm going to run out and be an entrepreneur myself.
Well, come to my office anytime and we can have a little chat.
Yes, I'm open for mentorship, right? So
fantastic.
As you said, you can be a good mentor.
Done.
So if I'm open, I'll seek in mentorship from you, 100%. And yes,
and my honor.
For entire base is your discipline, which you said initially, right? If you want to win entrepreneurship, if you want to be an entrepreneur, then it is very important that, as you said initially, that discipline, and you have to be very consistent what you think.
Completely.
And yes, ROI will fall in place if your plan is good. And then when you can see, yes, okay, I'm on the right track, you have a proper SWOT analysis for yourself. And then it's done. It's you. You can conquer the world like you are doing.
Absolutely.
Right?
The sky is the limit.
Sky is the limit, yes. So it's wonderful talking to you, Mercedes.
Thank you, likewise.
Before I close it for my audience, I want to know a final question for you. What was your key takeaway from CTW Global 2023 when you were on the panel? What was your key takeaway? What do you want to tell your audience? What we can bring on the table for the next season?
Well, I have several, and all of them were completely amazing and positive. I had the pleasure to be on the panel for logistics and smart cities, and the technology that was exposed at the summit with you guys in CTW was just fantastic. You guys were able to bring high quality professionals in which we could talk about the integrations, the artificial intelligence, how trading it's also a part of that game, right? How we can just apply as well the new technologies to all trading systems. And that was beautiful to see, not just to see, but to experience as well. So that would be one of the biggest the takeaway that I got. Organization was fantastic. I have to congratulate you, and you were on the top of every single person, every single phone call, and that is priceless. For me, that was my first time in a summit. I could not be happier. I mean, having someone else that knowing that you were in the other side on the phone 24/7. So yeah, I've got to mention that big time, because probably we wouldn't be here if the organization would have not been a completely success. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the lovely words, and we are definitely very, very proud of our project CTW Global, and we have very big plans for our 2024 season. So Mercedes, thank you once again for being here with us today for this very interesting episode. I am sure our viewers had good insight about the parking space, about how sustainable approach they can do for the country, for the environment, and in terms of if they have an entrepreneur mindset, how they can take a leap of faith and jump to that part of the gun. It's really amazing. I had such a lovely time chatting with you, and I'm sure our listeners too had a lovely time listening to this podcast. All I want to say, I will see you all in episode 4, so stay tuned. And if you have not liked our channel, please go to our channel CTW Global Talks. Like, share, subscribe. We do need your comments and feedback. Thank you, everyone. See you all.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.